Hi,
You need
everybody.
me to join you?
No, I'm good. It's faster if I do it solo, honestly. Maybe after I've done them. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gentlemen. Today, JoJo's Part 2. Podcast with Landon and me.
Yeah.
Hello.
We thought we were gonna have a special guest, but turns out we didn't. And one of my teammates are throwing. I
And
don't know why, it's a
I
casual game.
am still eating supper. Anyways, hi, friends. Welcome to JoJo's Bizarre Part 2 Adventure, Part 217 plus 8. Today, we are going to be playing, or talking about, JoJo's Part 2 manga. Dun 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 dun. That's the wrong intro. Irigano Sokokada Banana Igaremuna Yukino Yukino Asana. Yeah, that's Bloody Stream. If you didn't know what it sounds like, it's just that good.
Might I say, this wasn't as good as the anime.
Are you really? I love it. I like it a lot more than the anime.
I like the anime better.
Unlike with part 1, I can't pick out specific scenes that weren't in the anime because they adapted part 2 a lot better than they adapted part 1.
I kind of noticed that because I remember watching part 2.
Part 2 is great. I think part 2 might be my mom's favorite part. Part 2 and 3 she likes
Your
a lot.
your least favorite?
No, my mom's favorite is either part 2 or part 3. My favorite's part 4 and part 6. Fucking love part 6, dude. Part 6 was baller as fuck. Would you like to start us off, or would you like me to do my bad story summary?
Bad story summary before you start, and we can base it from there.
Alright.
I can base it from there.
Joseph Joestar is the grandson of Jonathan Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1. JoJo uses some Hamun to save a kid, and then he
Did you say Hamun?
Hamun, yeah, that's what it's called.
It's not Hamun?
No, it's Hamun. So they say it in the thing. I don't know. It's Hamun, Haman, who cares? It's the same shit. Hamun Shatkata! That's how they kind of say it in the Japanese. I don't know how they say it in the dub. Whatever, shut the fuck up. Uses magic sunlight breathing to shoot Coca-Cola bottle cap at some cops.
Shoot you.
And then saves a kid. Speedwagon gets killed by Strizo from part 1. And then Strizo becomes vampire. Yeah, he used to get stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I said, he got fucking stabbed.
Well, you got a chunk ripped off of him.
He got fucked up, okay? It's all that matters. Shut the fuck up. Alright? He gets fucked up, and then he goes out, and then he gets kidnapped by the Germans, but we don't know that yet. But Strizo kills him.
Oh, shoot.
Fuck. Strizo kills him dead. And then, but he's not dead. And then goes to kill JoJo. Joseph Joestar. Kills Strizo. Strizo's like Pillar Man. Going to Mexico. Joseph goes to Mexico. And in Mexico, he fights some German soldiers. So the video doesn't get taken down. Technically, it's only for monetization purposes, so Nazis!
We don't even make money.
I know. He goes and beats up some Nazis who were building the thing. Tequila Joseph, very funny joke. Unlockable costume in most fighting games. um, Joseph Joestar beats up Pillar Man with the help of German scientist guy, Baron von Stroheim. And then after that, they find out there's more Pillarmen. They go to Italy to fight him. Fucking Mark dies, not Mark! Mark!
I feel like you're making TV show reference. I wouldn't understand.
Well, you remember when they get in the car and Caesar's like, "Hey, bro, how's that lady doing back home?"
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna get married when I get back." And then he gets murdered and Caesar yells, "Mark!" As he gets fucking murdered. He somehow talks even though he's cut in half.
I'm not doing too well.
And then they jump out of the plane. And no, wait. Sorry, I'm playing Fortnite.
They jump out of the car.
Yeah, and then they go and they beat up, try to fight the Pillarmen. Pillarmen beat them up. Then they have 30 days to train.
Pillarmen after they're awakened.
Yeah, and then they gotta fight them. And then they go meet Lisa, who's JoJo's mom. We don't know this yet, but then they start training and shit. JoJo sees his mom naked and goes, "Nice!" And then they train some more, and then AC/DC attacks. They beat AC/DC, but not before he can send the Redstone of Asia to Italy. And then, or not to Italy, to wherever the fuck it was. Poland or some shit, and they get stopped. Then they fight Wamu and Cars. Then Caesar dies, and then after Caesar dies, they do a gladiatorial arena match. And Wamu dies, and then Cars beats up Lisa, takes the Redstone of Asia, puts it in the Magic Stone mask, and becomes the ultimate life form, like Shadow the Hedgehog. And then after that, they win. After that, Joseph steals a plane, jumps out of a plane, crashes into a volcano. Cars goes to kill Joseph, and then Volcano sends Cars into space for all eternity, unless you read the spin-offs, in which one of the spin-offs, which is not canon, he gets trapped on the moon and lives through the death and reset of the universe 25 times and becomes like all-powerful and gets every stand ever.
They made spin-offs?
Yeah, there's spin-offs. There's a bunch of spin-offs. There's a shitload of like light novels and novelization spin-offs. There's a whole one called Purple Haze Feedback, which probably isn't canon anymore. But it follows the events. It follows Fugo after the events of Part 5. Then there's there's the George Joestar novel, which is about Joseph's dad, George Joestar, doing stuff with stand users and shit in like in a non-canon alternate timeline where he fights Cars. Cars Ultimate, by the way, because he has like D4C Ultimate, the World Ultimate, White Snake Ultimate, Sea Moon Ultimate, just better versions of the stands. He's the most canon, the most powerful character in the JoJo's like collective universe, I guess. Even though he's technically not canon, but if he was, he'd be the most powerful. So what do you think of Part 2, like overall?
Better than Part 1, but still not a show I'd recommend.
Really? Part 2 is amazing.
Yeah, I know, that's why I enjoyed it. But still, even sort of not fully grasping at other stuff.
Well,
I still think the anime does some scenes better. Especially the action scenes.
I think the biggest thing the anime does better is the voice acting, and JoJo's dub is like some of the best. Some of my favorite. It really hits those comedic moments.
In the Japanese dub?
Yeah, the English dub can suck my balls. I'm just kidding, it's not that bad, but
it's just funny to hate on it.
Yeah, I couldn't actually, I never, you know how much I love JoJo now. The first time I watched it, I didn't like it because the dub was just so terrible. I could not stand the way characters talked. Like, at all. It just pissed me off. So I stopped on episode 4, and then I tried again. And I got to the start of part 2, and then I tried a third time, and then that third time I watched it in the Japanese, and this was after I finished One Piece, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then I watched like, I had to, you know how much I had to watch parts 4 and 5 on Tubi. So I did. I have to watch ads on my fucking thing. It was awesome.
Oh shoot, screwed it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Caesar is one of the better side characters, honestly. Like, of all the
Caesar,
Jobros,
well, Salad Boy was useless the entire time.
bro, he and Joseph's relationship was like the best.
Nothing happens with Salad Boy.
Caesar, well, I mean, Caesar's death was like one of the biggest motivating factors, and it was indeed his sacrifice that allowed Jojo to even win the fight with Wamu.
You mean his bandana, which
Yes.
lasted longer than him?
Which he gave to Jojo. He knew he was gonna die.
He didn't know he was going to use it. He just gave it to him out of like a memory or symbolistic
Yeah,
thing.
and it doesn't. But he still was able to defeat Wamu because of that.
Any piece of cloth would have worked.
Yeah, but it's way more cool if we use a Caesar bandana. Joseph wouldn't have gotten as strong as he did if it wasn't for Caesar motivating him to
Yes.
become stronger. As well. Don't forget that. I mean, their rivalry is what spurs on JoJo's character growth, in a way. And, like, you know, he evolves because of Caesar. Caesar! And he's, like, also, you know, gamer. He's definitely not done. I think I
And a
prefer
salad.
the Part 3 characters. But fucking Julius Caesar Zeppeli from Part 7 is the GOAT. Otherwise known as Gyro Zeppeli. The fucking gamer himself. Dude, I feel like if you like any part of JoJo, it's probably going to be Part 7. And maybe Part 8.
And that's
Part
going to
8
be a long road till we get there, isn't it?
Yup. You walk a lonely road down the JoJo road you ever know. Yeah, honestly, I think I have less to talk about with Part 2 than Part 1 because I like it more. Because I just think everything about, like, that Araki did right in Part 1 is present in Part 2, but to, like, a greater extent. In my opinion, anyways. Like, the characters are a lot better, the plot's a lot more interesting, and I love the way it, like, you know, connects back to everything. Like, the Germans probably would have never, like, experimented on the Pillar People on the Pillar Men if, you know, the characters didn't discover the thing because they wanted to, like, you know, because they knew what the Stone Masks were and the threat that they posed, right? Okay, I was waiting for you to respond, but it seemed like you're gonna say anything.
Okay, yeah, this is sort of the part where I guess. I was kind of expecting you to carry this part more. You actually would have, but okay,
We could
Do you
always
mind
just.
quickly, sort of like one question I had is, what do you think makes a good storyline? A good plot, specifically.
I don't think there's such thing as a good or bad plot.
Well, what makes things what would make things interesting or not interesting?
Having poorly written characters? I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, the plot is just the basic setup and story beats. That's whatever. Like, you can have a really shitty plot, but there's really no such thing as a really shitty plot. As long as the world building, the characters' development who act within the plot, and the villains are solid enough, then it's entertaining and it'll be good.
What do you mean, sort of?
Like, what do you mean by plot? Just like the
I
shit
mean, like the
going on?
storyline,
Like, just
not
the shit,
specifically the character
the
parts
shit going
that
on?
you sort of described with.
I don't think there's a I don't think there's a... Unless, like, you change up incredibly what the story is between, like a sequel or something. It has literally 0% to do with the original. And doesn't fit into the same style, then... Yeah, I'd say your plot's kind of bad, but other than that, I don't really see... Like, a lot of shows have really strange plots, but they always... The things that make them the best are... Like on paper, a lot of things that we like sound pretty dumb. One of the most popular manga right now is a guy whose dog becomes his heart, and then he gets the power to use chainsaws.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more, I guess I'd say.
But Chainsaw Man is fucking great.
Yeah, it is.
Especially after fucking part 1. We'll try
Which
part
I
2 a
kind of
lot
wish
more.
we did instead of do JoJo.
But we already did all of Chainsaw. We did all of Chainsaw Man part 1.
Yeah, we only did part 1.
Yeah, part 2's not done yet.
You want to finish? You want to wait until part 2's finished?
I want to wait until we get
Is it longer than part 1?
I don't know. I mean, right now, part 2 of Chainsaw Man is only like 20, 30 chapters.
No, they're
Well,
like...
Yeah, we're ended right now on like a very big cliffhanger, so I kind of want to wait until like at least
It's,
the current fight is done.
that's fair.
Before we do another Chainsaw Man episode.
I guess you can do like sort of late.
Did you catch up on Chainsaw Man?
No, I more or less just been reading either My Hero or... Well, that's basically the only thing I've been trying to keep up with on that. Because I still want to buy the physical books. I'll start reading it soon, but I'm reading other stuff too.
Well,
I'm starting to read Overlord.
right now I'm rereading Blue Exorcist.
You're rereading Blue Exorcist again?
I've only read it all the way through one time.
Well,
And
technically
then-
that still is a game.
Yeah, and I said I'm rereading Blue Exorcist. Rereading means I'm reading it a second time, Landon. Rereading it again would mean I'm rereading it for the third time.
I guess technically that also...
And because Landon, what it is I read through the entire thing 2 years ago, and then it went on hiatus till last May, and then I picked it back up in May, and I started reading like weekly again, and I forgot what was going on, so I said I'll reread this again, and then I kind of just forgot.
Oh, it's still going on?
I don't know if it's still going on. It might be over now, because they were like at the final fight, and then they were like, alright, hiatus for a year, sorry bro. And I'm like, fuck! Literally the day after I caught up, the new chapter came out, and they're like, sorry, see you next May.
Yeah, I was also reading I Am in Love with the Illness. Like an hour. Good story. I may recommend it for a podcast. It's a light novel though, so I don't know how much you enjoy it.
I'll hate it, I'll burn it. I'll physically burn it. I'll burn
It's
my
on
iPad.
digital.
I'll burn my iPad.
Well, then you
Delete-
can't read any of the other good stories. Like Oshi no Ko. The first manga volume's on there. And
Oh.
you can't... You know, the one where gynecologist, well, doctor. Well, a girl goes to a doctor because she's pregnant, but she,
Pretty sure it's the newer one.
the concept of the show.
Yeah.
Wait, we're a dog?
Yeah, I might be an old video, honestly.
Oh
we
no,
watched-
this is a different one.
What's the new one? I know I watched it.
No, this is the one where the idol.
No,
Where the
I'm
doctor
saying
gets
that.
reborn
I'm
as a
saying
kid.
that. I'm saying that. No, but I'm saying that the dog one is terrible too.
Oh yeah. Apparently the Japanese one. I think I might have it on the account.
Fuck
It might have been
off.
free.
Fuck off, Landon. You dumb
I think it
bitch.
might be free in Japanese. I think I might have got it.
Slut.
I don't know. It might have been the temporary free one, and I might have deleted it.
Oh my god. Better be. We're not doing that show on the podcast. I refuse. There are a few
You
shows.
put your foot down at there.
Honestly, no. If you had said we're doing it, I would have still done it. I mean, I don't care if it's terrible.
I mean, that would be great content, though, for us
It
to
would be
whine about.
great content. Why are
I mean,
you guys
there's also-
teaming up on me? Why are you two teaming up on me? I'm getting gangbanged!
There's also.
What the
Saga.
fuck? They were standing next to each other on a solos game, and they're not fighting. They're literally teaming. Oh, now they're fighting after they both killed me.
I
No,
mean,
that's a
it could
different
be
guy. Fuck you. I'm not even fuck it. I'm just gonna go play Minecraft. Fuck it. I'm gonna go play Minecraft.
different. There's also Lolly Hitler on the account.
What? Repeat that. Repeat that.
Lolly
Fucking
Hitler.
repeat that. Repeat that. Okay. What?
Lolly Hitler.
Explain. Dipshit.
Okay, so this 40-year-old man is reincarnated as a lolly,
Uh-huh.
and he fights in World War II Germany. But there you can fly.
Oh, I see.
It's a light novel.
Sounds fucking terrible is what it is.
That might still be different.
Did we do JoJo? Did we do our last JoJo part on a Sunday?
Maybe.
Did we
I'll
do? Did we
listen to
do?
the video, but
Did we do Rocky on a fucking Thursday? 'Cause it says 6 days ago and 12 days ago.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I was saying the people.
Sorry, I was bopping.
Oh, I can't. Why? I don't know why, but I can't message you on Snapchat.
What is it? Oh, the thing? Strange.
Oh, no, I can.
In my wider path.
Okay, check your Snapchat. I'll send you a clip of it.
Alright.
Maybe we can do that on a podcast episode. And there's also the first.
Oh, that show. I've seen clips of that before.
Yeah, the light novel's on the account, yeah.
Damn.
And
Don't, Zach, don't tell me you logged off with the pickaxe. Zach, no. Zach, no.
And if you want to Google Translate from Japanese to English, honestly, the name right
Okay.
It was available for 22 cents.
Damn.
I ran to the store to go buy a code for it.
Damn.
I'm starting to browse the Japanese sales and the English sales one.
Yeah.
Now we have nearly 4,000 books on the account.
Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck?
What, you haven't logged into the account for a while?
No.
Yeah.
You
About
haven't
one
you
like
haven't
this.
done a series yet or a thing yet that required me to, and I've just been reading Blue Exorcist. I've only read 14 chapters in the last week. I'm rested, man. I had to read JoJo. I like JoJo, but I want to read Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is really good.
Survival in Netherrealm Mysteries. I bought the first light novel for that.
Nice.
It was the main one that we did a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It was great. I want to read the manga.
Well, you can buy it if you want.
Yeah, I'll just like find it online for free or something. Or I mean, I will probably buy it, but I don't really like pirating my stuff anymore.
So you can buy it on the account.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I should. I'll hopefully get a job. What? No. Yeah. I applied for a bunch of jobs. I got into like the final application process for one. So hopefully I get it. If so, then I can work from home.
Did you also do the same thing as sort of like Google career certificate and all the other stuff like that? You don't want to do writing stuff?
No, dude, I'm terrible at spelling.
Yeah, they still do unnecessary dialogue in this.
Okay.
I mean, Jojo, like this one, Jojo is the type to get more mad at the fact that he got blood on his shirt than Aaron brought him than the fact that he hit him.
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't need to describe how someone's feeling without someone else.
I mean, I agree. I agree. That is definitely a flaw with JoJo's early JoJo especially. Araki's way more heavy-handed with his exposition being dialogue. But I think the positives far outweigh the negatives.
What positives?
I think like the characterization is still really fun. The characters are always like still in character.
I guess that's a game feature.
Joseph Joestar is a very entertaining character.
And he only gets worse from here in the next few seasons.
I don't think so. I think Joseph in part 3 is a lot less competent, but he's still as entertaining as ever to watch.
Yeah, and they ruined the best part about him.
What, his intelligence?
Yes.
He uses it, just not as often.
Yeah,
because he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to anymore. He's serving a different purpose in the story. And then in part 4, Jotaro serves that purpose for Josuke.
Yeah, but that doesn't really seem to serve a plot if you do. It doesn't seem to make sense technically in the story if you do that.
Joseph has an entire fight scene where he's just like it's just him outsmarting an enemy stand, using his abilities in a way that make him useful. I mean, he's no longer the powerhouse of the team. He can't gamer on everybody anymore because his stand isn't useful for as many situations as Hamun was, because Hamun was the only thing that they needed to master, but now he needs people like Polnareff and Jotaro in order to fight some of these battles, or else it's impossible, or else he can't win, because he just physically isn't powerful enough anymore. And I mean, don't forget, characters, other characters
also, I beg to differ that Time Stop is still a useful ability no matter what.
Time Stop is useful? What are you talking about?
Yeah. You're making it sound like it's not really useful as time goes on. It's more useful than Jolene's string.
I mean, depending on the situation, yeah. Because Jolene's string has a much farther range. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have Jolene's string. If we're talking about in an actual everyday scenario, being able to reach farther with your string, probably infinitely more practical than being able to stop time for a few seconds.
Not for a few seconds.
Yeah, it's a few seconds. Jotaro can stop it for 5, Dio can stop it for 10.
That's at the beginning without practice.
Yeah, Dio practiced for about a year and only got to about 3 seconds. And then after drinking Joseph's blood, it went up to 10.
It doesn't mean it still can't get better with time.
It could get better with time, but
We
like,
haven't seen him use it at all.
yeah, because Jotaro has trauma based around the time stop ability, killing, a lot of his fucking friends. Kakyoin, Higi, everybody died because of Dio, and he has the same power as Dio, as though he doesn't want to use it unless absolutely necessary, because it reminds him of that time in his life when a lot of people he cared about got killed in front of him.
What?
Yeah. You know that?
Boring.
What do you mean that's boring?
Well, you're just writing him off.
Landon!
He was useless in the entire series during the part 3.
Landon, you like Batman, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's dumb that Batman doesn't use guns?
Well, he only doesn't use gun himself.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot people. He doesn't use guns. Jotaro doesn't like using his time stop because he has the trauma based around it. Like, Batman doesn't want to use guns because guns killed his fucking parents. They were shot.
Well, he's not against using guns, he just doesn't want to use guns. Kill people.
Yeah. And neither does Jotaro. Jotaro will use time stop if he has to, but he prefers not to. Because he doesn't want to rely on the power that got a lot of people he cared about murdered. Jotaro is a great character because his character is built on subtlety that the anime totally lacks. I mean, it's kind of there.
You don't see him anywhere in any scenes.
I mean, there's still quite a bit in the anime. It's just nowhere near as pronounced in the manga, apparently. I've never actually finished part 3 in the manga.
Never finished? How long is part 3?
In the manga, it's like 12 volumes. We'll need to do it in like 2 parts. Like 2 episodes.
How many chapters?
Over 100 and something. How many chapters of part 3? Part 3 JoJo. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, part 3, has 10 volumes, 125 chapters. And that's not even close.
125 chapters?
Yeah, and that's not even close to being... it's technically more chapters than parts 7 and 8, but it's less content, because 7 and 8 has long chapters instead of like the short chapters, because they switched from Shonen Jump to Ultra Jump, I think was what it was.
Do they have longer chapters?
Yeah, they're like 50 pages each in the newer parts.
That's gonna be a headache to read.
I read it all in like a week. It was awesome. We're gonna do it in like 4
but you
parts.
enjoy it.
Dude, part 7 is lit as fuck.
I can be quite honest, I struggle to get through this.
You're gonna fucking love part 7, Landon. You're gonna love part 7. If you like any part of JoJo, it's probably gonna be part 7. Because it's really different.
Did you not say that about this part?
Well, I mean, you said you liked this part before we went into this.
I did say you enjoyed this part.
You said you
I'm
liked
now
it
looking
in
at
the
it sort
anime.
of differently, but... Maybe because, like, one of the scenes was actually more depicted in the anime than it was actually in the manga.
What scene?
You know, when Kar sneaks off to go put on the mask, you actually see that in the anime, but you don't see that in the manga.
Yeah.
It just suddenly has the mask on, and then suddenly everyone evacuates it.
Yeah.
Suddenly it just happens.
It's an anime. Yeah, the anime also has some mistakes as well. Like, you know, when Speedwagon, when Joseph gets in the plane and flies off, in the anime,
15-0.
in that scene in the anime, Stroheim is actually standing there, even though he's technically on the plane already, like in canon or whatever. Like, he should be on the plane.
Wait, so the anime doesn't have German soldier on?
No, he's on the
Okay.
plane. No, he's on the plane. Stroheim's on the plane, but but Landon in the manga, in the anime, he's standing next to Speedwagon after Joseph takes off. When he's in the manga, he's not there, if I remember correctly. But the manga has the anime has a lot of anime only mistakes and stuff in them.
Oh, I didn't really notice it because this one has more fights.
Yeah, this one's a lot more action focused than the previous part, and I think that definitely serves.
I enjoyed it more.
I think that definitely serves the story. Like I love stands. Like stand fights are some of the best action in any manga ever. Purely because the way stands can work. Like the best stands are the ones that have like a metaphorical like ideal behind them. Like Star Platinum is loud, and because Star Platinum represents that part of Jotaro that screams and is like really loud and bombastic and more brutal than his calm demeanor. Like whenever he pulls out Star Platinum like screams and stuff. Star Platinum's like yelling aura a lot of the time. Like it's not Jotaro, it's Star Platinum doing it for him. And Dio being like the symbolic, like thing of evil for their whole family, having the same ability as our main character is one of the best ideas, because I absolutely love those kind of like plots. And Jotaro beats Dio by like outsmarting him and punching him in the fucking knee. It's like so hard that he even like breaks his hand. Like I think like it speaks like a language of subtlety. You gotta dig deeper with JoJo's to find the actual meaning behind a lot of the random stuff.
I guess that is only if you actually get it. But
I mean,
that actually sort of kind of does bring up another point I think I was actually thinking about sort of during this. Is I like the Hamun power better than the stand power.
I like Hamun, honestly, but spin and stands are way better. Hamun, like,
I don't know why, but I don't like the stands.
Stands are unique. Well, then do you like quirks in My Hero Academia?
I do, but this is sort of like one of the weird things I sort of described where stands don't feel like their own power.
Well, but
they're like a slight disconnect from the main character.
They're each unique, and they're all based on the character who wields the personalities a lot of the time. Especially in the earlier parts. Like Steely Dan, he's like a real dick. He will do anything to get ahead, and so he has a really weak stand. But his stand is it's really weak, but he uses it to its full effectiveness because he's a coward, and so his stand is small and it hides. Or, or you get someone like Polnareff, who's got righteous ambitions for revenge against the man who killed his sister. His stand is Silver Chariot. It's literally like a white knight. He wants to be that like hero character. He wants to fight for righteous vengeance, and so his stand is like a symbol of good. Like things like that is why I love stands, and also their powers are cool, and seeing characters use them all in unique ways is really entertaining. Like, I find quirks in My Hero are usually have a lot less to do with like the character who's using them's personality or powers, until the characters find a way to use them for the purposes that they want.
Yeah. Sort of one of the arguments I sort of had for the Hamun thing is that you can see each character fight in a different way. See differences in their personality.
Yeah, like Caesar's got his like bubble cutters and stuff.
And then there's the unorthodox toy metaball.
Yeah, I love the Joseph's Hamun clackers are really cool because they're not actually
is
like
something you wouldn't think that actually does sort of represent.
No, because the Hamun,
something that's vastly underestimated. You would easily overlook.
Yeah, and the Hamun clackers are actually oil. They're not metal or anything. They're oil. because oil conducts Hamon, so we can like give them shape. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, they're oil.
I didn't know they're oil. I thought they were just steel.
No, it's like certain metals I don't think can like liquids conduct Hamon really well. Like some oils do, some don't though. Like whatever they used on the tower.
It's vegetable oil, I think I seen them use.
Yeah.
What they use.
Yeah, and then they can like they do all the shit with the spaghetti and like that. Caesar and Joseph's opening fight really lets us know a lot about their personalities without them ever needing to actually clash, and I think it's one of the best fights in all of JoJo, honestly. It's one of my personal favorites.
I don't remember much from it.
Well, like they're throwing spaghetti at each other, and then he like JoJo like stuffs the bird down that one like poor lady's mouth.
That's the after the scene.
Well,
I
yeah,
thought
but
it was like the
that-
actual physical spaghetti fight. Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
guess
they
that's
do.
what it is.
Well, that's
That
like
part.
that's a continuation of the spaghetti fight.
Oh, I thought you meant only the spaghetti fight. Okay.
No, because like they. And like Caesar outclassing JoJo in almost every single way, like ability using his Hamon.
And he still dies.
With JoJo
accomplishing
using
nothing.
his well, because the Joestars are like naturally more talented, and he's a Zeppeli. Zeppelis aren't allowed to survive JoJo parts. It's just a rule.
There seems to be too much lenient on fate in this show.
Yeah, this fate is the key thing of JoJo's. And those who try to defy fate are the ones who will always get fucked up by justice in the end. That's like the whole
Well, I guess
theme of
what can
part
we
5
defy
and
is
6.
fate.
Fate is it's literally just the way the universe is going to play out. Like Father Pucci's plan in part 6, spoilers for part 6, is to get Made in Heaven. Made in Heaven will let him literally control fate. He will speed up time so everybody experiences life, and in this then it'll restart the universe, and then he'll bring everybody back, and everyone will know how their life is going to go, so they can prepare for it. Right, instead of leaving it up to like not knowing. Dio is a person who he feels he was slighted by fate ever since he was young. Like his father led his mother to her grave. He got beat by JoJo. By Joseph, by Jonathan. He got, he died to JoJo, and he sees it as work of gravity, of fate. Fate pulls people together. Fate often is like called gravity by a lot of the bad guys, but gravity pulls things and people together for the purposes of the universe. And so Dio believes that if he was able to know how his life was going to end up, and that he knew it was futile to stop it, he could find peace and make peace with how things were going to happen. Right? That's what fate is. Fate is just the way things are going to happen. It's written down in the book or whatever that fate, you're going to die this date, this time. And there's no way to change it. Unless you have a stand. But even then, certain stands, like, they can fuck with fate, but fate will always bite back, because no one is above it. That helps clear things up.
Wait, so that's sort of the overarching theme of the entire show?
Kind of. Yeah, basically. But fate always favors the side of justice, so if you're good, then... Part of me really likes that, but part of me actually dislikes it, because I think the idea of destiny in things, like you're destined to do something, I think is kind of lame. Because then
I agree with that.
It takes away from it takes away from the characters' journeys. If they were always going to win, then what was the point of them going through struggle and hardship to reach their triumph? I had thought about
to describe it, but I guess I do sort of use that room.
Like in Dried and stuff, I was going to have a fate system as well, But then I thought, like, if I had a fate system, then, you know, I think it would take away from the inevitable journeys. Because, like, the characters I write have all, like, they struggle because they want to be right, not because they have to. Like, I think One Piece would be way lamer if fate was a thing. Stunned? Yeah. And I mean, at this point, JoJo's was actually, like, almost, like, was failing in readers. In, like, readers'
I can
surveys.
see why.
Because, well, the reason why is because Dragon Ball. A lot of Dragon Ball's tournaments made it really popular, so a lot of people, like a lot of the shonen of the time did tournaments because that's what the editors told them to do, because that's what was getting readers, and so in part 3, instead of adding a tournament, he just changed up the entire style of the series and
What
made
do you
it.
mean? Oh.
In place of tournaments, he made stands, because like the appeal of the tournament arc in a thing is it's not only like it's the narrative that's really important, but it also like really helps elevate the action, because each fight you learn each fighter's skills as they enter different matches before they meet up with the main character, and the exposition is basically solved through that alone. Which is why I always thought about doing a tournament arc, but in the end I decided against it, just because I really like them, but I don't want to do one. So
What would even be the point of it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I have no idea. Like,
there's no.
Yeah, I know. There's literally no point in the story I want to tell for a tournament. I originally wanted to do a prison sequence, but I still do, but I don't know how I would fit it into the main story.
I'd probably definitely criticize you for that sort of out of place part.
Well, I mean, like, because I had the idea for a character growing in that setting, but I think I can write that story better in a different setting, because I technically kind of do something like this near the end of part 1, where
You're doing multiple parts?
Well, I mean, kind of. It's just how I divide it in my head, because I have 4 major story arcs that I want to tell. Each have their own like mini arcs within them, but they all are built up to the ending of the first one, which is them defeating Valnentis Noita, and then it leads those actions eventually spiral down into the heavens invading. Then that eventually turns unleashes the Hollow Shade, and after that the culmination of everything happens, the advent of the World Breaker, thus putting a nice bookend on a lot of the characters and story. Because I have a section near the end of part 1 where Dryad is actually he's taken captive and like locked away, and in order to like escape, he climbs up the wall, but he's still in his shackles, and I use the shackles as a metaphor for his character growth, because he was always bound by his past, and he let it, like, rule his life. And so in this moment, he needed to accept his past and move past it in order to save the day. And so that's what he does. And it's not, like, that quick of a thing, like it's built up to throughout the entire story. I'm just literally just explaining to you what I'm explaining it to you. So don't get the idea that it's just a one-off thing. It's not. It's basically the cornerstone of his character. And then the other gamer stuff happens, like, yeah, and then a lot of other cool stuff happens after that, like he throws a sun at a guy.
Is there a lot of metaphors in JoJo?
Not too many metaphors in JoJo. I mean, I think more like metaphysical, like character traits are embodied by different characters. I wouldn't say there's really a lot of metaphors. It's really like I think the part what makes JoJo so interesting to discuss is the subtlety of it. Like me and Zach will could talk for hours about just the random like stands and their meanings and powers and how they interact with other stands and how they would work.
Well, I guess that would be good for like a fandom, but
Like, I mean, what makes JoJo so nice, like, I think what makes a lot of stories interesting to discuss, and why I can talk about things like One Piece or JoJo's for as long as I can, is due to how well written the characters are, and how subtle a lot of the story elements are, and visual metaphors there are. With, like, JoJo's, I don't really see as many physical, like, metaphors for characters and stuff.
it might be something I have to look out in part 3 when we eventually do it.
Yeah, because I think Jotaro's character is basically all subtlety. Like, he's supposed to be really cool and like, oh, he's so cool, he's so awesome, kind of like badass, edgy character. But like one of the best scenes in Stardust Crusaders is when he talks to his grandmother on the phone, and she's like, "Are you all right? What's going on? Are you okay? How's your grandfather? What's going on? What's happening?" He's like, you know, he just sits there for a moment and he just quietly listens to her voice and goes, "Don't worry, everything will be fine. We got this." And then he hangs up.
I remember
Because
that
he's-
scene, but I don't think that much from the back of it.
Because
Probably
I think it
spoilers
shows
for
off, like, Jotaro, like, he's, like, especially in the beginning, like, like, his mom, he calls her a bitch and stuff, but but she always goes to, like, say goodbye to him when he goes to school and stuff, right? And when he goes outside to head to school, and his mom isn't there to give him a goodbye kiss, he's like, "What's happened? What's wrong?" And so he goes out to find her. Like, he doesn't, like, it's not that he doesn't care about people. It's not that he's cold and uncaring. It's that he just doesn't really know how to express his emotions. Like, the one weakness he has in the entire story is his daughter. Like, he can't let anything happen to Jolene. He cares too much about her. And people say he's like a cold, uncaring person, and people despise his character because they think he's one note. But in order to understand Jotaro, you have to look deeper than the surface, which is what makes him so interesting for me personally when I analyze and talk about him, and why he's one of my favorite characters in JoJo.
This will probably be something we discuss more later on.
Oh, way more in the part 3 video. But, like, I'm just kind of, like, saying, like, a lot of the time, a lot of people have problems with characters that they just don't fully get. Like, one character I really don't get all the hate behind is Sakura from Naruto.
She does nothing.
Yeah, you're right. She doesn't, like, help in action sequences or anything, but she's still, like, the cornerstone of the emotional conflict of the entire story. People despise her because of that one scene where she, like, fake confesses her love to Naruto. And I thought that was one of the best scenes in the entire manga. Because she doesn't love Naruto, but she cares about him enough to not want him to go out and die just to fulfill a promise that he made to her when they were kids. She's worried about her friend in this scenario, and she thinks this could be the way to get him to stop. But he won't stop because that's not who Naruto is. Right? Like, I think Hinata is a way better character. I like Hinata a lot more than Sakura, but I think Sakura definitely doesn't deserve all of the hate she gets.
Well, and she doesn't really grow at all, so
I mean, I think, like, Sakura's, like, character growth is definitely not nearly as much as Naruto and Sasuke. She's definitely pushed off to the side. But it's not like she's never, like, integral to the plot. She knows she's not the powerhouse that Naruto and Sasuke are, and so she decides to become, like, a brawler and learn medical jutsus, so she doesn't need to. She's, like, the team medic of Team 7. You know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I get that she's useless and kind of dumb and whatever, but I don't think she deserves all the hate she gets.
This is something I feel like I should revisit the series and actually talk about it more.
Yeah.
Because this is sort of a different time where I didn't really care about anything other than main characters. I still don't fully care about anything other than the main characters mostly.
Dude, the side characters are the cornerstone of most media. Because they're what
I
give
get
the
annoyed
main
when they focus on the
characters.
side characters.
Because the side characters are what give the main character room to grow. The bad guys, the people around him, around characters, are what give them opportunities to grow and change as people. Or, I mean, the main character can also do the reverse. Like, Luffy in One Piece, he doesn't really have too much character growth himself, other than getting actually just more powerful. But he isn't the type of character that needs to. Okay. So, without spoiling One Piece, because, like, Luffy's character is the type that helps others grow. His hopeful optimism and boundless courage help other people in their darkest of times and help them keep a more positive outlook and keep on going despite all the odds being against them. Like, in like, so many times, Luffy's friends try to push him away because they don't want him to get hurt, but he doesn't care. Like Nami in Arlong Park, in probably one of my favorite arcs in any fiction. The entire arc, she tells, like, Luffy to, like, fuck off, and, like, tells everybody that she doesn't need them or that she was never their friend. But then when she has to kill Usopp or kill Zoro or something, she saves them. Her actions are speaking differently than how she's actually talking, like, in what she means. And so Luffy reads in between those lines, and then when Nami's at her absolute lowest, she looks up to Luffy with tears in her eyes and just asks for help. And he just turns around and puts his straw hat on her head, which is an actual reference to their first interaction, where she made fun of Luffy's straw hat for being his treasure, because to her treasure was money and gold, and she didn't understand what, like, sentimental value things could have until after Arlong destroyed her mom's, like, tangerine patch, and she's just like, she just begs for help, and Luffy just throws his arms up in the air and just yells, "Of course." And the fucking gang is just sitting there. They're just waiting for Luffy's go-ahead to go beat up the bad guys, because they all want to help their friend. They all want to be there for Nami, and then Luffy in turn does the same to them. When they fight, and, you know, when shit goes bad, Luffy's always there to help no matter what situation he's in, and the people the people that he helps always come out better for it. He saves countries and civilizations just purely because he doesn't want to be labeled as a hero. He does it because he wants to, because he's a good person. He doesn't care if people thank him. He doesn't care if people hate him. Let them. He's just doing what he wants to do for the sake of his dream, and helping people along the way is just a bonus. Like, Luffy's character doesn't really have, like, a full arc. He has his personality, his character traits, but he doesn't really grow or change all too much throughout the story, except during, like, one arc that focuses basically purely on him. And Luffy is just, like, he's peak fiction. He's one of the most well-written, he's one of the most well-written and understandable characters that's so simple, yet the way he acts within his world makes him entertaining to watch. he's probably not my favorite One Piece character, but like he's definitely not bad either. Like his character serves a grander purpose within the narrative and is like somebody that we can all kind of look up to with his hopeful optimism and never-ending courage and lust for adventure and chasing his dreams, which is the idea of One Piece. If that makes any sense.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Because like he's the fundamental force of nature in the stories, like that he's participated in the arcs and stuff. He is the motivating factor for basically every character, and like including himself. And so when he walks into a situation, he will forego the plan in an instant if somebody does something that he disapproves of. Like in Wano, some bad guys waste red bean soup. Right? Seems really dumb when I say it, but in context of that scene and of the story, it's one of the most impactful moments in all of Wano. Because Luffy is just gets so pissed because of what that kind of shit means to some people he cares about.
I feel like I should get off of Overwatch because I feel like I'm going up against people that are higher ranked than me.
Oof. Sucks to be Landon, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't tell you a few days ago, but I got a I got a teammate that was absolutely dominating the entire team. Turns out he's a Grandmaster.
Damn, sounds like
The highest rank you can
Overwatch.
get in the game.
Sounds like nobody's playing Overwatch 2, so you're just getting all super high-ranked people.
I know. It's not really fun. Especially
I
at the beginning, it sort of sucked. No, so I guess it was the only good thing that it was a quick play match.
Yeah.
But even then, all the matches sort of suck. I don't know how, but every single player feels higher than their actual rank.
I bet.
All the jokes are like bronze players can't aim, don't know anything about the game, and any other stuff.
Yeah.
They're pulling off tricks that are like, or at least gold or silver a few years, gold or diamond a few years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, that's fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, much fun. I feel like I need to start playing Fortnite because my coworker talks about it and it's the only thing he's addicted to.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to the conversation other than him telling me how he plays it and spend some money on it.
Fortnite's fun.
Yeah, I tried a few days ago, sort of got bored and lost. But it'd be something new to try out.
Well, you gotta get good at it. I mean, like, learning how to build good is, like, a good strat. But also, like, shooting, sniping, everything, you gotta kind of learn weapons, and they keep updating the game and adding new stuff. Like, the Attack on Titan crossover is on right now.
Yeah, I know, I remember that. You guys didn't explain anything to me last time.
Nope, we just let you
I was completely lost.
Are we gonna do Attack on Titan on the podcast?
Yeah.
You wanna do
Manga
manga or
Manga or
anime?
the anime?
I don't care. I'm probably gonna read the manga recreationally for fun.
I mean, we could probably get Ryan on the podcast if we're gonna do the...
I asked him if he wanted to, and he said he would. He doesn't wanna. He doesn't think he's entertaining enough. And I just told him that we don't care. Landon's not entertaining.
We'll drag
either.
him on anyways.
He said he might do some.
Yeah, for that day we'll drag him on. Good time we need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on some side projects now.
That's...
I'm working on Dried, but an audio drama. Just to try to get some dried content out at some point.
What do you mean audio drama?
Audio drama.
I don't know what that is.
How do you not know what a fucking audio drama is? What are you, stupid?
Just saying exactly what the name is multiple times is not gonna make me know what it is.
Landon, it's a fucking audio drama. It's a drama, but presented in audio format. Like a radio drama, but not on the fucking radio.
It's just the story you just read out loud. It's like an
No,
audio book.
It's not an audio book. An audio drama has sound effects and multiple characters talking. Each character has their own voices. An audiobook is actually just reading on like a novelization.
How are you finding other people to do this other stuff with you then?
Internet. So far, nobody's auditioned for the one character that I need, but you know, whatever. I'm playing Dried in this audio drama, by the way. Not that I don't like playing the main characters, but I mean, I know exactly what I want from him, so I thought I might as well just do it.
Yeah, you may find this weird, but this is sort of the only character that I actually find that's smart, that actually is decently smart.
Who, Joseph?
Yeah.
Well, he's just clever.
Yeah, and it's the only time I actually think it works out, and I don't question it.
I mean,
It's the
Goku's
only
smart.
thing.
Goku's a genius
Yeah,
when it
not
comes.
really.
Goku's a genius when it comes to fighting.
What, are we gonna do Dragon Ball on podcast too?
At some point, maybe. I don't know. If you're down, I'm down. I mean, I don't. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball?
Well, I have like some volumes of Super. Well, Z, I mean.
Yeah, and because because I think like it's important to appreciate the classics when it comes to a lot of things, like understanding what came before and why. Like people did roll right off Dragon Ball because it's all lasers and shooting and shit. It's super basic anime. You wanna know why it's basic anime? Because it fucking started those tropes. It's the originator, motherfucker. Big Energy Blast and shit, that's all like Akira Toriyama and some other like older mangas. They all popularized that format. So you can give it a little leeway when it comes to like its action being basic because it started that trope. It didn't follow the trend that you don't like. It's the one, like I didn't like Dragon Ball because I thought it was all stupid power beam struggles and stuff. But when I watched Dragon Ball Z and especially Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super kind of sucks to be honest. But like DBZ is without a doubt like it's stellar. The paneling, the action, like the story is actually really good. People write off Dragon Ball way too soon just because it's Dragon Ball.
Is it faster to go through the manga or the anime?
Manga's better. Manga has less filler. Dragon Ball's a lot of filler.
Like Naruto?
Like Naruto. Probably even worse than Naruto. Maybe not as bad as Naruto. Naruto is like Naruto and One Piece have like the worst filler. I also don't get why they divided the Naruto anime into two parts. Because doesn't the Naruto anime have 750 episodes? Or something? Because like the original Naruto has like 300 and then like Naruto Shippuden has like 500.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Naruto.
Also, how is the one guy getting tricked by a mirror?
I don't know. Maybe he's just an
I'm
idiot.
pretty sure most people with at least decent sense of sound
Yeah,
can hear
so
someone behind
the
them.
original Naruto has 220 episodes, and Naruto Shippuden has 500. Right? And for some reason, they divided it into two sections, because Naruto has like I think Naruto has like 720 chapters in the manga, and they're only like 11 to 15 pages each. So they're adapting less than a chapter per episode in Naruto's case. Like One Piece is like One Piece should be like half as long as it is. Because like the filler they have less filler less than that. They have less filler episodes than Naruto. Right? Like One Piece has less filler episodes, but One Piece is basically entirely filler. Like, there are, like, episodes where there's, like, 2 minutes of manga accurate information, and then it's recap. Like, they kill off a character, and they did a 7-minute long recap. In the next one. 7 minutes! There was 13 minutes of fucking shit, and half of it was just spent... There was 13 episodes of actual content, and then half of that actual content in that episode was just stuff we've already seen and characters reacting to the information that we just got. Like, they will, like Luffy will be punching the guy, and we will cut to every other character, like, 3 times reacting to it. They'll be like, and then we'll go back to Luffy going, for like, another 20 seconds, and then, oh my god! No way! What? Ah! Whoa! Crazy! What? Huh? Whoa! For another, like, 30 seconds. Like, a 1.5-minute long sequence in the anime is 1 panel in the manga. In Wano. But the anime has better art now. The manga, it got really cluttered with its page layouts, and it's nowhere near as interesting to read.
I mean, the animation stuff does look like it improved quite a bit.
Yeah, Wano, like, they like, switched in Wano, because in Wano they hired a bunch of, like, lifelong One Piece fans to make the show, and so now it's like, they've got, like, an all-star cast of some of, like, the best animators in the industry working on One Piece.
Yeah, for JoJo's episode, we haven't talked much about JoJo.
No, I don't know. I don't know why I can't talk about one of my favorite things ever. This was yesterday. Me and Zach talked about JoJo for about 2 hours yesterday.
How?
Yeah.
Was it just the same things?
No, we talked about a little bit of everything. Like, I taught him a bunch of stuff he didn't know about JoJo. Like, like stands are kind of hereditary. JoJo, like, say the part, apparently Araki confirmed that if the part 3 characters were to go back in time to part 2, they would have seen Hermit Purple wrapped around Joseph. Even though Joseph didn't know and couldn't access the ability, he technically still had his stand. Because it's a manifestation of, like, their fighting spirit and their souls. So it's, like, technically a part of who they are.
I guess I'll try to go back to my notes again. Yeah, one thing I do applaud is that the author isn't afraid to play around with important figures in history.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna make it around in time, you might as well use the bigger characters and big players in that time.
Bigger characters! Yeah, my favorite character
players
in all of
time.
My favorite character in all of fiction, you know. Adolf Hitler, man. What a goat. He was in that game, Sex with Hitler. That was pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah, have you played the one for Scott Free?
No, not yet. I'm gonna play it with him, probably.
You guys can do it on stream?
Probably not.
Why not?
Cause the video would get taken down easy.
Didn't you stream a hentai game?
Fuck. Yeah. Kinda.
Did you forget about that?
No, well, I mean, there was no actual hentai in the game. I was looking at hentai when we were playing the game, trying to figure out what images they used. I was trying to track down the DeviantArt fucking shit they stole for that game that they made. And then I did, but there was a lot of hentai in between that. Some gay hentai too.
You did that all on stream?
It wasn't on stream, it was a recording.
You did a 2-hour... Did you even bother to edit it? Did you even edit it?
No.
It's just basically a stream.
Yeah, but it's one big long video. I didn't know how to stream back then.
Hey, I forgot. Did we actually check if we both have audio?
Yeah, I did. I made sure.
You did?
Yeah. If we don't, who cares? The episode sucked anyway.
There's nothing but JoJo. It's just like the show.
I think there's a lot to say. There's a lot of good things about JoJo's. I just think I'll have a lot more to say about part 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Landon, don't worry, Landon. Part-wise.
But I remember part 3 kind of.
Part-wise, Landon. Part-wise, we're almost there. Part-wise, Landon, we're 1/4 of the way done. Actual
But they keep on
content-wise,
getting longer and longer.
content-wise, we're like less than 10%. I'm pretty sure. JoJo part 7 and 8 make up for over half of JoJo's entire runtime. Like entire airtime since like JoJo's turned 35 and they started publication of Steel Ball Run in like 2005. It's been almost 20 years since the original timeline ended in the manga. I fucking loved part 8.
Wait, they're on the new timeline?
Yeah. Araki couldn't think of anything to do after part 6, so he just started over from the beginning. New characters.
I mean, I guess he was capturing sort of modern time.
Yeah, and then he was back to modern time. Yeah, the part 9 so far takes place after the COVID pandemic, so like 2022, 2023. Jodio Joestar. Yeah, so far, part 9 has been really good. This last chapter that came out like yesterday was really interesting. Sucks that it was very quick and nothing of note really happened in it. And if this is anything like part 7 and 8, this is going to be the next 10 years of JoJo, and probably the final part.
You don't think the author will be alive for much longer or something?
He's like 60. Pretty sure he's 62. And although he's Japanese, so he'll live forever, but like, realistically speaking, part 9 is probably going to be the last part. If it lasts longer than part 8 did, we're looking at like 12 to 15 years. He'll be close to 80 by then. I don't know if Araki's hands will be good enough to keep on going. I mean, I hope so. Like, more JoJo is not a bad thing. I will read it. But yeah. It's genuinely surprising to me how long it took for JoJo to get an anime adaptation. Like,
I mean, it
despite
had
being,
original anime adaptation.
No, it had 2 OVAs. They have the Lost Media Phantom Blood OVA that no one's been able to find, and they have the Stardust Crusaders OVA, which is entirely on YouTube. Which both are like, I've never seen which is really good, but like to get a proper anime adaptation like Dragon Ball and One Piece, it took them longer. Like they didn't. And I mean, I'm glad. Like the anime production that we got is really good.
Yeah.
Although I think the manga is just a superior version of events. I also think I like the color scans of the manga better than the anime adaptations, especially with like the later parts. But the color schemes change so much. Like I think Giorno looks better in blue than pink. But like JoJo also has one of the most badass soundtracks ever. Like it's one of my favorite like OSTs to any piece of media ever.
What do you mean OSTs?
Original soundtrack. Dude, they're fucking bangers. Bloody Stream, fucking. Like, no, I'm not even just counting the opening. But like all of the character themes are amazing.
I mean, I do sort of agree with that with Golden Wind.
Dude, Giorno's theme is iconic. It's like my third favorite, honestly.
What is your favorite then?
I like Jotaro's theme.
What is Jotaro's theme? What is it?
Here we go. Here, I gotta configure it so I gotta get rid of background noise on my microphone in the party real quick. Here. Can you hear it?
Yeah, which Stand Proud do you want to run?
Stand Proud is an OP. It's part of the OST, but it's the theme song. Joe's theme is just like the do 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 bum 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 ba da da.
That is a good one.
I fucking love Jotaro's theme. Fucking Jonathan's theme is also a banger. Like, all of the character themes are awesome. I think Josuke's is my least favorite.
Yeah, I'll still mine's just Golden Wind. I don't think I really think about that. It won't sound right.
Like, Jonathan's is like this nice, like this triumphant soundtrack or whatever, which really fits like his more good guy kind of bland nature. He's got like that really, like the good part, and then...
What's your favorite opening then?
It's a three-way tie between Heaven's Falling Down, Stone Ocean, and Chase.
Mine would have to be Stand Proud.
Stand Proud is good. I think I like End of the World a bit more than that one.
Well, because I'm more of a fan of the rock.
I love the bad guy intro breaks that they do from like where they like smash up the intro with the bad guy's powers or whatever. I fucking love those. Those are so cool. Like Father Pucci's is probably my favorite. I think Diavolo's is the worst. Kira's is awesome. But like I love Chase. Chase is fucking amazing. It's also like the just like the visuals, everything is super badass. People actually really dislike Chase. It's like the most disliked JoJo LP. And I really don't get why.
Which one is Chase?
Itsumo Chase. I don't even know if you've ever...
won't remind me of what it is.
It's part 4. Part 4, second opening. You've never finished part 4, so I doubt you even made it that far.
Yeah, I kind of quit after like 20 episodes in.
Part 4 was great. Part 4 is my favorite part. Maybe. Part 7 is pretty lit, but I think the ending really sucks. Part 8 is also really lit, but the ending also really sucks. A lot of people said that, like, when I went into part 8, I was expecting it to be awful. But, like, genuinely, it's like some of the best JoJo. Like, it's basically like a mystery drama part 8. And it's, like, amazing. And then you've got, like...
Would you say that's sort of what JoJo's about, the mystery drama?
I think JoJo's is an action shonen that evolves a lot over time. Unlike a lot of series which stay the same from start to finish, JoJo's changes quite often, and I think that's for the series' benefit. Because, like,
I guess it was
Araki improves, like, during like every part, Araki gets better at writing, storytelling, character development. Like every part, he gets better at it. Even though some may be less interesting than others. Like part 4 is my favorite because I think like what it does is it's really unique. Because it's basically a slice of life mystery, like murder mystery, where the town of Morio is designed to where you learn its landmarks and you learn to care about its people and all of the side characters living there. Which is why I think you don't like it, just because you don't understand characters. Because
Well, how do you make someone care? How do you make a person care for characters?
backstory, character development, character growth.
So it's not
Expanding
something
on
like
them, giving them-
relatability.
Well, relatability can help, but relatability will only go so far. Like, relatability is a good way to introduce people and endear them to your character, but if they stay that same person as time goes on, then, and they don't grow or change, then the character just becomes stagnant and boring and will eventually be outshined by the characters that do grow and do change. Like, to be honest, one of my least favorite characters in all of media is Deku from My Hero Academia. I
see the argument for that.
I mean, I haven't caught up with My Hero. It's been a very long time since I've watched it. But, like, from what I saw, I think, like, Deku is just so bland. Like, his character kind of peaks at, like, the end of Season 1, and then when they fight Stain, and then it's just kind of all of the other characters outshine him in almost every way.
What do you mean I'm trying to...
I would rather watch a show...
By character stuff?
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I would rather have, like, watched a show about, like, Todoroki or, like, you know, half of the other side characters that I can't remember, honestly. Because it's been so long since I've watched the show. Because I think Deku's quirk is also the least interesting to watch in a fight. Because it's the most visually, like, spectacular. But, like, when I watched, like, the Two Heroes movie, the best part of that movie for me was watching all of the, like, other heroes use their powers in creative ways to help out the situation.
I mean, I guess it sort of has changed now. Is Deku's quirk, well, All For One has changed.
I haven't.
Do you care for the...
I don't care about spoilers. I might. If I go back through the story, I'll probably read it in the manga. But it's like, as someone who invested like 3 seasons worth of time into the show and just couldn't get back into it after the first time, I think there's just a flaw with it.
Hey, it's like JoJo.
It's one of those things that gets. It's one of those things that gets more boring the more you see it, because it's kind of basic. Like,
yeah,
for me...
I'd say one of the reasons why I really like it is more or less because I'm a big fan of the hero genre.
I think superheroes are cool, but I don't think... I think the reason why My Hero is popular is because it has superheroes and not because of any other real strength. Because it only came out at the hype of superhero drama, of, like, superhero stuff. And it's like, people still eat it up. Like, The Boys is one of the most popular shows, like, to air in recent years. I still haven't seen.
But to be fair, there hasn't been any good shows recently.
It's about like superheroes and stuff. Apparently, The Boys comic sucks really hard. Apparently the comic for that show is like terrible. Because like the author just hates the superhero genre in general, and so there's not a single good superhero. The goodest superhero is actually Homelander in the comic, which apparently he's like...
Homelander?
Yeah, apparently he's like the
I guess
bad
that
guy.
would make sense.
Basically the bad guy in the show, or whatever. I don't know, again, I've never seen it. But like, every superhero is either like a pedophile, or rapist, or some like other really terrible thing in the comic. And there's actually like good ones in the show to like balance it out and make it more interesting.
I can't leave a shot.
But like, you know, I think like I'm tired of like superhero stuff, honestly. The only Disney Plus show that I'm probably gonna watch again is I think I'm gonna watch Loki season 2, and I think I'm going to watch, and I'm probably gonna watch Secret Invasion because I like Samuel L. Jackson. But that's about it. Like I have no other, like I have no motivation to watch any other like superhero movies. I'm not gonna watch Marvels.
Fair.
You know why?
I think they might have canceled that, didn't they?
No. Apparently it was getting dislike bombed, but I'm like, Captain
I thought they
Marvel
were
one
canceled
sucked
it.
so hard.
I heard somewhere that they were going to cancel that movie.
Oh, I hope so.
Or was it the Captain Marvel that was canceled?
I mean, they're probably like that movie is probably gonna. I hope it bombs. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say that I hope it bombs, but like I don't think it's gonna be very good. like part of me because I remember, part of me used to be kind of sexist. Honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, but that's not why I disliked Captain Marvel. I disliked it because it was fucking terrible.
I don't know much of it.
The writing, the
Hey, we should do
pacing, the
review
characters.
Morbius on the show.
What?
We should review Morbius on here.
Yeah, apparently Morbius is at least funny bad and not like just bad.
Hmm.
I think like part of what I disliked about Captain Marvel was just how heavy-handed they were, leveraging the fact that she was a woman in the marketing. Like, some of my favorite characters in all of media are female. My favorite character in all of Star Wars is Ahsoka Tano. You know, Princess Leia, fucking... A lot of, like, I really liked Wanda Maximoff before they fucked her up really badly in the new Doctor Strange movie. Her, like, character dilemma when she actually got all those people killed was really interesting to watch in Civil War. I really liked, like, Natasha Romanoff. Just to name other, like, MCU characters. But, like, goddamn did they fuck up so hard with Captain Marvel, man. They somehow managed to, like, just... Oh, man, I hated it. I hated it so much. Like... Oh, I'm not... But, like... with like, Captain Marvel in general, is it's, like... like, for me, a lot of, like, they were blaming, like, the bad reviews and stuff on sexist people. And I mean, like, there's probably some, yeah. But, like, I just think it's a poorly written, poorly paced, poorly executed movie that really was a huge letdown. And releasing it before Endgame was really strange because she had, like, no role in the fucking movie at all. She was in it for all of, like, 20 minutes, not even. And then it's like a 3-hour movie, so it's not a very long time. They just, oh my god. Like, that's part of the reason why I made, I made the main character of my story, at least in the first, like, part, is originally I made her female because I just wanted to prove to people that it's not that people don't want to, like, watch stories led by female characters. It's that they're writing bad movies.
Yeah. I mean, you can also look at, like, a ton of the older movies. Like, one of the examples I seen was from the Alien franchise.
Yes, Ripley. Ripley is my fan favorite character. People love her.
And the older lady from Terminator.
Yep, Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, two of the most iconic characters in all of fiction, arguably. And then you've got the characters like Princess Leia, who's like such a proactive character within like Star Wars and stuff. It's like I don't get it. I don't get why these companies think that people are. I mean, again, like some of my favorite characters in all of media are female. Like Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars character. Like, I think part of that has to be like I grew up watching the Clone Wars, and so as I grew up, like her character grew up with me, so I have that kind of personal connection of her growth was like related to my growth at the same time. Which I don't think a lot of people like really get. But like, you know, some of like you just, oh my god. Or like people not liking, people saying like, oh, people don't want to watch movies because they're racist or whatever. It's like, I liked Black Panther. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was anything special. But it's like,
I'd say the second one is way better than the first one.
but like, Landon,
I
am I racist because I don't like the movie? Because I don't think it's the greatest.
Oh, even I didn't care for the first one, but I like the second one.
Like, I don't know, like, I dislike, like, bringing politics into movies. Like, I knew Captain Marvel was going to be bad when the trailers looked really bland and uninteresting, and they did probably my least favorite transition in anything ever.
Which one?
They had this, part where they go, find out what makes her, they have the word her on screen, and then they fade in an O and an A. Find out what makes her a hero. They transition that into like the word hero, which there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but I think highlighting the fact that she's a female character will inevitably take away from the core message you could leave to younger audiences. Like, I'm not a big fan of pointing out.
It's almost sort of like using a shield nowadays.
Yeah, like one of my favorite characters in Steins Gate is like trans or gay or whatever. Honestly, I don't. It's really convoluted due to the time travel stuff, so it's really hard to tell. Ruko Ishibara has one of the best arcs in the entire show, and is one of my favorite characters in that show because of that arc. It's so well written, so well executed, but they don't like shield off the fact that he's not straight with just like. Or not, I don't even know if he's not straight. I mean, I think he's actually, I don't know. It's because it's not like written out in color in the story, and so I think that's kind of what I like about it anyway. But like, if they were written really heavy-handed with the messaging that they're not like straight and they're not normal, like they play it off as a joke in the beginning, but it comes back as like a really serious subject matter, like in the end. And I genuinely love it with all my fucking heart. Like, it's so well done and executed. And I like, if they had been like used the fact that he isn't straight as like a shield or to just highlight the character more, I think it would take away from the message and the whole heartbreak of that arc in the story. Like, I have couple of gay characters in Bride, or in, you know, a lot of female characters in Bride especially, that just, I don't bring it up. If it's mentioned in passing, it's not like, it's like a one-off line. Like, one of the characters I wrote, she's lesbian, right? And how we find that out is that she gets married to a lady, but it's not highlighted in the scene. I don't draw attention to it, it's just that she fell in love. The idea for her character growth is that she fell in love, not that she is attracted to women. Right?
Wait, okay, so was the strong female lead in Alien, is her name Ellen Ripley?
Ellen Ripley, yeah.
Oh, she's in the shop right now.
Oh. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver plays her, I believe. She's in Ghostbusters and stuff. A bunch of other stuff too. I just can't think of anything else on the top of my head. So I fucking love Ghostbusters.
I'm curious how you'd react to what your opinion would be on
I've never actually seen Alien or Aliens. What, sorry?
I'm curious what your opinion would be on I'm in love with the villainous.
I don't know. If you want to do it on the podcast, I will do it. I probably will. I don't really dislike a lot of things. Like, I don't think I've disliked anything on the podcast so far. like I may not have gotten as into 3 Days of Happiness as I probably should have, just because of the media that it was in. But I can definitely I definitely see the strength in the story, and I understand why you like it so much.
Yeah.
I think I still look up like I want to eat your pancreas better personally, but.
But you like the manga version, which is the less superior version.
Well, how do you? Well, but we haven't covered the manga yet, and
I own the manga.
I mean, so do I.
I started reading the manga.
So do I. I love the manga because I find it's easier to describe someone's. I guess you do lose that the whole what he's thinking when they say his name, thinking about how he that's not nearly as pronounced. But I think what we gain in return is some great paneling, and you can see the genuine hurt on people's faces, which I think helps me personally draw out more emotions. Like,
well,
I've never cried.
With me.
I've never cried while reading a book. I've cried while reading manga. I don't really read comics because most modern comics are bad, and I feel like I'm going to read Spider-Man one day. I want to read all of the original Spider-Man comics.
I recommend just buying them in bundles, the graphic bundles. They're easier to store.
That's what I'm going to do. Or just do it digitally. But I've never cried while reading a book. 3 Days of Happiness left me feeling empty. I didn't cry while reading I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I almost did. I probably would have if the first time I read it, if I wasn't reading it in class. I probably would have if I wasn't reading it in class. I mean, I don't care if people see me cry or whatever, but it's I don't want to be well, I'm by myself. With Your Lie in April, I watched the ending in my room at 2 a.m. because I had to. I wasn't expecting to cry as hard as I did, and I definitely would have cried the second time if I was not busy working on that video all day. The special intro. But Your Lie in April destroyed me, and there's an editing mistake in it that pisses me off. Your Lie in April destroyed me emotionally like no other series had ever and has ever done. I don't think I even cried that hard when I lost my grandfather, and I cherished his existence. I was emotionally destroyed for weeks, even after rewatching it when I barely paid attention. I still died inside for the next 2 weeks. I'd have messages where I'd text Luke, I'm like, Luke, I still feel empty. And he's like, I know, that's what it does. I'm like, Luke, I don't know how I'm gonna live.
But that's just a perfectly done anime.
It is without a doubt. I don't we were supposed to do the manga this month, weren't we? Oops.
I know. I was about to bring that up, but the month's almost over, and
I mean,
there's still a sale going on. You can probably buy it.
Yeah, if I get hired, I'll buy it at the job that I want.
I think the manga's on sale for $5 USD.
Nice, but I don't think the manga can ever live up to the anime with Your Lie in April, because the anime adaptation is so perfect.
It does it everything. And the anime adaptation should be
the colors are perfect. The writing, the characters, the voice acting in both versions is stellar. I had to watch it in dub. And the music was amazing. And the openings are awesome. It's one of those shows I will watch it in either dub or sub. Usually I have a preference. With JoJo, I can't stand the English version. Not bad, but I find especially with part 3, you cannot I can tell who the characters are in the anime just based off their voices in Japanese. I can't in English. They all sound the same. They're all doing a really deep voice. I'm Polnareff. I'm Joseph Joestar. I'm Jotaro Kujo. Did you know the guy who plays fucking Jack Cooper in Titanfall is fucking Jotaro in the fucking JoJo dub?
Mm.
He's also playing Ganon in
Jack
the new
Cooper?
Zelda game. Yeah, the guy who plays Jack Cooper from Titanfall 2, the main character.
Oh.
That's Ganon in the new Zelda game, and Jotaro in the JoJo dub.
Yeah, you know the voice actor for Marie, My Dress Up Darling, is a VTuber?
No, I didn't. That's neat.
Yeah, she's
Fucking
Amelie.
the lady who plays Luffy also plays Krillin in Dragon Ball.
Yeah. It's weird how most shonen characters are actually voiced by women.
Yeah, well, it's because they're like
That's
young,
sort of surprising.
young dudes. I mean, Goku's voiced by a lady too. I'm pretty sure.
So is Naruto.
Yeah, well, it's because they can hit those higher voices a lot of the time.
Yeah, but Naruto seems a lot more raspy.
I mean,
Like,
I dislike I watched the One Piece film Red recently, but I couldn't find it in Japanese. I could only find it in English. But I didn't care. I really wanted to watch the movie. They really messed up some of the voices in the dub. I think Luffy's is kind of annoying, but I can live with it. But Frankie's is terrible.
Oh yeah, I found this sort of reminds me that pretty soon I'm gonna be buying the greatest English dub off of eBay.
Are you buying fucking Ghost Stories?
Yes. You can buy it off of eBay.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's actually surprisingly like a good price for like $30.
男たちの夢と感動を乗せて今
Alright, that's $45 plus.
Here,
It's
I'm
kind of expensive, but-
gonna send you
あいつが動き出
video
す
after.
そいつの名はアーマードオレ
I must get to your DVDs and video too.
Metal shoulders. Wow! I'm back and better than.
Okay, here. I'm sending it to you on Snapchat. Right now. Watch this video. This is Frankie. This is Frankie. It's the big robot guy in English versus in Japanese. Yo. Brooks, I think, is a bit off, but I mean the One Piece Japanese dub.
Belgian guy.
Yeah, One Piece Japanese dub is like the perfect cast.
I don't know why, but it doesn't really load for me.
That's strange.
Oh, an error occurred.
What the fuck? Try
It's not
again.
letting me play the video. I'm just,
Well, just-
refreshing the page.
Yeah. But like listen to what they did in the Japanese. Listen how he sounds, and then listen how he sounds in English. And tell me which one is like I think the English dub really fucked up. I feel like they could have searched harder for somebody to play Frankie. He's only one of our main characters. Like, I get that they don't need to like match the characters' voices entirely, but I think trying to keep in that same kind of vocal tone range is important when in like a dub.
Doesn't really, not what I mean. Just gonna go just try career sub versus dubbed. Oh, now that's working. It's just the other video you sent me just doesn't work.
Than ever. I'm not just.
Maybe if I share it.
No, I just went from YouTube, typed it in, and it didn't load.
That's weird.
It's just that one video.
Let me try to find a different version then.
I'm already on another version.
Okay. Like, it's just with Frankie. Like, I can forgive everybody else's casting choices. I think Zoro and Sanji sound a lot, like, way too similar, but, like... General Frankie! Super! Super! I'm super. I'm super. No, nothing bugs me. Everything is super when you don't.
Alright.
Just can't feel too bad for you right now. I'm feeling something super.
Well, it doesn't seem that bad, but maybe just a bit.
Like, I don't think it fits the character, like, at all. Like, he sounds like...
Well, I haven't gotten that far to see his character, so...
No, but I mean, like he's got this really flamboyant personality, and that way he talks with that, like, rasp in his voice near the bottom, where he, like, rolls a lot of his words and stuff.
A lot more
You know, they changed it. He's like,
yeah.
you know, he's like, super! And I can't even do it good, but then in, like, English, he's just like, super! I'm Frankie. General Frankie, super! Yeah, I couldn't do One Piece's dub, so that's why I watched the sub. And now it's one of my favorite things ever, and I read the manga weekly. I'm fine, Mr. Cripple. I just can't feel too bad for you right now. I'm feeling so insanely super. That even the fact that you can't walk can't bring
my
me.
choice for after I get back will probably be on Love with the Villains.
Okay.
So you have 2 weeks to read it.
Okay.
You're gonna have to use the search bar on the account to find it, because it's all the way at the bottom.
Okay.
Goes through the 3,000-ish books. Wait, I think I actually have it on bookshelf. I do have it on the bookshelf. On bookshelf 2.
Nice. Would you like to see the video that I submitted?
Are we still alive?
Yeah. I mean, not gonna. I honestly, I should probably just end. We're not really doing anything right now.